Hello, this is Heidi Beshore and
Rebecca, Anna,
and we're going to share with you a special book.
Heidi.
Yeah, my name is Heidi. We're going to share with you a special book that helps us with memorizing. It's called The Name of the Tree. And it is a Bantu folktale retold by Celia Barker Lottridge and illustrated by Ian Wallace. And we're sharing with you this special story because it describes a secret in memorization that most of us don't realize needs to occur. Okay, the name of a tree. Once, long ago, in the land of the short grass, there was great hunger. No rain fell, and no grass grew. The ostrich, the gazelle, the giraffe, the monkey, the rabbit, the tortoise, the zebra, and all the other animals were hungry
And
thirsty. They searched in the jungle, they searched by the river, they searched on the great flat plain, but they could find nothing to eat. At last, all the animals gathered together, and they said, "Let us go together across the great flat plain until we come to something we can eat."
I joined this.
And so all the animals, except for the lion, who was a king and lived in the jungle, walked across the flat, empty land. They walked and walked. After many days, they saw a small bump on the edge of the flat land. I'm going to show you this drawing. And here's the next page. Okay. Then they saw that the small bump was a tree. And the tree was very tall. And the tree had fruit on it, such fruit as they had never seen before. It was as red as pomegranates, as yellow as bananas, as green as melons, as purple as plums, as orange as mangoes, and it smelled like all the fruits of the world.
No, I'm not seeing this one.
See this picture?
Mom, I'm not trying to stop.
You're doing good. But the tree was so tall and the branches so high that even the giraffe couldn't reach the fruit. And the trunk was so smooth that even the monkey couldn't climb the tree. The animals sat on the ground and cried because the fruit smelled so good and they were so hungry. Look, they're crying out. They're saying, "I'm so hungry."
I can't see.
See, look, they're crying, see? And at last, they were too tired to cry any longer. A very old tortoise spoke. "Oh, animals," she said, "my great-great-great-grandmother told me a story about a wonderful tree. The fruit of that tree was delicious and good to eat, but it could be reached only by those who knew the name of the tree." The animals cried out, "But who can tell us the name of the tree?" The very old tortoise answered, "The king knows. We must send someone to ask him." Here's the next drawing. What's gonna happen? "I will go," said the gazelle. "I'm the fastest runner of us all." And that was true. So the gazelle started out across the great flat plain. He ran like an arrow that shot from a bow.
Is this ice?
It kind of looks like it. I think it's just clouds. Okay. And as he ran, he thought, "How lucky the animals are that I am willing to go to the king. No one can run as fast as I." Indeed, it's not long before the gazelle reached the jungle and the place by the river where the king lived. Here's the next drawing.
I can't see.
Here, you can see it. Look. The king was sitting with his tail neatly wrapped around him. Every hair in his golden coat was smooth and shining. He spoke kindly to the gazelle. "What do you wish of me?" he said. "Oh, great king," said the gazelle, "all the animals are hungry and we have found a tree filled with wonderful fruit. But we cannot eat the fruit until we know the name of the tree." I will tell you, said the lion, but you must remember, for I don't want to have to tell anyone else. The name of the tree is Ungali.
That's not nice.
Well, it's okay. He's the king. Ungali, said the gazelle, I will run as fast as the wind, and I will reach the tree before I can possibly forget. Here's the next page.
I can't see.
You'll see it in a moment.
The net broke.
Uh-oh. The gazelle thanked the king and began to run through the jungle and across the great flat plain. He thought about how happy all the animals would be and how they would thank him and be grateful to him. He thought about this so hard that he did not see a rabbit hole that lay in his path, not far from where the animals were waiting. He stepped in it and went head over hoofs over head over hoofs. He landed in the heap at the foot of the tree. Shh. What's the name of the tree? Shouted the animals. The gazelle shook his head. He shook it again. But the name was gone. I can't remember, he whispered. The animals groaned. Can you groan for me? We will have to send someone else. They said, someone who will not forget. Here is the next page.
I can't see.
You'll be able to see it in a second. See? Here, look at the picture. I will go, said the elephant.
Mommy, I can't see.
I never forget.
I still can't see.
Well, it's a very faint picture. The animals nodded, for this was true. And so the elephant strode off across the great flat plain. I will not forget, she said to herself. I can remember anything I choose to. Even the names of all my cousins. Elephant had hundreds of cousins. Or the names of all the stars in the sky. Here's the next page.
I can't see you.
You need to wait, Hannah. Okay, because you're going to see it in a moment, but I want to be able to show our friends here.
What friends?
The friends who will watch this. Okay, when the elephant arrived at the end of the river, the king was sitting in his usual place. But the end of his tail was twitching, and his fur was ruffled. What do you want? He growled. Oh, king, said the elephant, all the animals are hungry. I know, said the lion, and you want to know the name of the tree with the wonderful fruit. I will tell you, but don't you forget, because I absolutely will not tell anyone else.
That's not nice.
The name of the tree is Ungali.
Ungali. The name of the tree is Ungali.
That's right, Rebecca. I will not forget, said the elephant haughtily. I never forget anything. Hannah, let me tell the story, okay? And she turned and began to make her way out of the jungle. Okay, we're going to show the next page now. Here we go. Can you show us the next page?
Okay.
Let's see. What do you see, Hannah?
Elephant.
I see an elephant coming back. Okay, here we go.
Can I see?
Here, look, see? Forget, she grumbled to herself. Me, forget? Hannah, you're making it hard to hear. We might have to stop it.
No.
Okay. Why, I can remember all the trees of the jungle. And she began to name them. When she had finished the jungle trees, she went on to all the trees in Africa. She was just starting on all the trees of the rest of the world when she happened to step in the very rabbit hole that had tripped up the gazelle. Her foot fitted exactly into the hole, so exactly that she couldn't get it out. The animals waiting under the tree saw the elephant and ran toward her, calling, "What is the name of the tree?" The elephant pulled and tugged and pulled and tugged, and at last, with a great pop, her foot came out of the hole. "I can't remember," she said crossly, "and I don't care. And that tree has caused far too much trouble already." The animals didn't even groan. They were too tired and hungry.
I want to take my shoes off.
All right, let's show the next page.
can't see.
Oh, Hannah.
Mama.
Every time you bump it, it bumps it. Okay. And after a long time, a very young tortoise spoke. "Oh, animals," he said, "I will go and find out the name of the tree." "You," said the animals, "but you are so young, and you are so small, and you are so slow." "Yes," said the very young tortoise, "but I know how to remember. I learned from my great-great-grandmother, the one who told you about the tree." Here's the next picture. Okay. The animals had nothing to say, and the little tortoise was already on his way. It is true that he was slow, but by putting one short leg ahead of the other, he crossed the great flat plain, went through the jungle, and arrived at the place where the king lived. The king was not sitting in his usual place. He was pacing up and down at the bank of the river, waving his tail. His fur was standing on end. Here's a picture.
I still can see her tail.
Kind of scary looking.
Why?
He's angry, it seems. When he saw the very young tortoise, he roared, "If you have come to ask me the name of the tree, go home. I have told the gazelle and I have told the elephant that the name of the tree is Ungali, and I will not tell you." The very young tortoise nodded his head politely and turned and began to walk out of the jungle.
Mama, can you take this chair out of the way?
Okay, we'll show you the next page.
She did, like...
Here you go, look. There's the very young tortoise.
I can't see.
As he walked, he said, "Ungali, Ungali, the name of the tree is Ungali. Ungali, Ungali, the name of the tree is Ungali." And he went on saying it, and he crossed the great flat plain. What did he say, Rebecca? Come here.
Ingali, Ingali, the name of the tree is Ingali.
Come here.
Ingali, Ingali, the name of the tree is Ingali.
Ungali, Ungali, the name of the tree is Ungali. And he never stopped saying it, even when he got tired, even when he got thirsty, because that is what his great-great-great-grandmother had told him to do. Let's see. Even when he fell right to the bottom of that same rabbit hole, the very young tortoise just climbed out, saying,
Ingali, 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 the name of the tree, Ingali, Ingali, the name
of the tree is Ungali. None of the animals saw him coming. They were sitting under the tree, looking at the ground. The very young tortoise walked straight up to the foot of the tree and said in a loud voice,
"The name of the tree is Ingali."
Very good, Rebecca. Here, let's show the picture. Okay, so he's like, "The name of the tree is Ungali." And look what happened. Look at the next picture. What's happened, Rebecca?
The fruit of the tree is bending down.
Yeah, the fruit's coming down. The animals looked up. They saw the branches of the tree bend down so low that they could reach the wonderful fruit that was as red as pomegranates, as yellow as bananas, as green as melons, as purple as plums, and as orange as mangoes, and smelled like all the fruits of the world. Here is the next picture. Everyone's eating happily. The animals ate. They ate until they could eat no more. And then they lifted the very young tortoise high in the air and marched around the tree, chanting, "Ungali, Ungali, the name of the tree is Ungali," because they did not want to forget. And they never did. This is the last picture. The end.